Hi guys, it's Katie. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Type On Path tool in InDesign. So first thing I'm doing here is just setting up a new document, putting it in inches so it's easier to deal with, and just making sure there's only one page. You can do this in an already existing file or make a new one. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is bring in your image or shape that you want to be putting the type around. So I'm just doing file place, and then I'm just going to drag this image in that I'm using and just make sure I place it where I want it. Okay, then I'm just going to hit object and lock to keep that picture in place, and then that's when you're going to grab the pen tool and start making the shape of the path that you want your text to sit on. I find that the more simple of a path you do, the better the result is, because the text just lays on it better. And once you have that, you can use the direct selection tool up there on the left to click on an anchor point. It'll turn blue when you have one selected, as you can see, and you can directly edit the path that you want before even adding any type. Okay, I'm just going to add some stroke to it so it's easier for me to see, and then that's when you're going to want to hold down on the type tool that I'm doing, and that's where you'll find the type on path tool. It'll have that little line. So when you hover over the line, you can see that little plus sign formed, and then you click, and then you're ready to start typing. You can copy and paste type if you want. I'm just throwing in a random sentence. But yeah. And if your line of type is too long and you don't want to sacrifice it by making the font size smaller, you always could just repeat this step and make another line right above or below the path that you already did. But here I'm just making the text a little bit bigger so it fills up that whole line. And after you put the type in, you can use the direct selection tool like we did before to edit the shape of the path, because once the type's in there, you can really see how it's interacting with the letters, and there are some little awkward spaces in between the words and letters, so I'm just going in and fixing those. Okay, and also since my object that I'm trying to wrap around is round, I'm going over to the convert points on the right over there, and they have a bunch of options, but I'm using the smooth option to get a nice curve on my anchor points so that the whole sentence flows around the shape instead of having those little corners. So after you have all that, I'm just adding a few spaces to make it more centered. And there also is one more way that you can kind of edit and manipulate this path. So if you zoom in, and then just with the normal type tool, if you just use your cursor, click wherever you want. Here I'm holding down the option key and using the left and right arrows to shift the leading. So you can do that manually as well if you like. To wrap everything up, I'm just going to take off the stroke and then go into preview mode and see how it looks. I think it looks pretty good. Thank you for watching this tutorial.